Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to this week's edition of 5 Minutes of Management. I'm Frank Kalman here with Rick Bell in our new and improved set.
How about that?
Thanks to popular demand, we're now sitting at a table and
a desk. This is the news desk.
The news desk.
The anchor desk.
So, Rick, we've got a lot of things to talk about this week, but first, of course, we have some events that you guys should be keeping on your calendar on the workforce front. We've got Workforce Live coming to Chicago, the Hard Rock Hotel, October 22nd. So if you're in the Chicago area, be sure to register for that today. Seats are filling pretty fast, last time I checked. We also have Workforce Live in Dallas, in Las Colinas at the Four Seasons on October 27th. So just a couple days later. So 2 events if you're in Dallas and Chicago. In the HR community, definitely worth checking out.
And if you're going to be in Boston or anywhere in the Northeast, go to Workforce Focus, which is November 9th at the Ritz-Carlton in Boston. I'm really looking forward to that event.
And if you like the Ritz-Carlton and you like Boston, this is the perfect combination. It's right off the Common. It'll be a great event, full day. Who we got speaking? Dan Schwabel.
Dan Schwabel, yes.
Some other good speakers.
Yeah, definitely some good speakers. And even if you don't like Boston, just show up.
Worth the cost.
We think
Rick will be there, right?
I'll be there.
Well, then there you go. There's your money back in one fell swoop.
In person.
Well, Rick, we got some interesting stories to talk about today. Chiefly, we have some new rules coming from the government that could actually put some more salaried workers back on a punch clock system, believe it or not. Under new proposed Department of Labor regulations, salaried workers earning less than $50,440 will be eligible for overtime pay. That means workers that tend to work more than 40 hours a week at that salary level could get paid more money. But here's the thing, they'll have to punch a clock. And to a lot of workers who are used to being salaried, who are used to having autonomy, it's kind of a punch in the gut a little bit in a weird way, because you're going to make more money, but you kind of feel like you're moving back on the corporate caste system, so to speak, when you have to go punch in that clock every day.
It's a stigma, and honestly, I don't get it, because if you're going to be making more money, and there's obviously the potential for more money on the table if you're getting overtime, I think that certainly supersedes any sort of stigma that might be surrounding punching a time clock. I haven't punched a time clock since I was a long time ago. It's been many, many years. But still, I just feel like if you're going to be making more money. Now, this also brings up the point, too, about overtime rules and regulations. Management can enforce those rules and say if there's no overtime, then they have to make sure to adhere to that. Employees need to adhere to that, or they can be fired.
Yeah, it's kind of a funny situation. The Wall Street Journal this week did a pretty extensive story where they interviewed a lot of salaried employees who expressed, disdain by the fact that they had to be degraded to punching in and out every day, even though, the act of doing so will ultimately yield them more money in annual salary, because they just always work that overtime. So,
right.
Something to keep a lookout for into next year to see if those regulations get put in place. So,
right.
Rick, what else we got? We got some wellness news, no?
Yeah, wellness, obviously, it's no longer a fad, and it's here to stay. However, according to the National Business Group on Health, which just met, and Towers Watson, the consultancy, employees are often disengaged from their employer wellness programs. And we're talking like 50% of employees, according to the study that they did, say that they are struggling to connect in the workplace with wellness programs and their employers. 1,600 employees were surveyed by Towers Watson in the NBGH earlier this year and did not participate. Half of them said they did not participate in a single wellness activity program at all in 2014. So among popular wellness programs offered by U.S. employees, of course, are screenings and biometrics and on-site vaccinations. And the average employee participant rates topped out at 48%. And even with financial incentives, the rates were still dreadfully low. One person was quoted as saying, employees are leaving a ton of money on the table, and that tells us that you can't pay people to change their health habits.
I gotta admit, I'm kind of surprised. I'm not, it just seems like the way the culture is headed, people are all about buying Fitbits and wearable devices, the Apple Watch to track their fitness. I'm surprised that, when corporations trying to incorporate this into what they do every day that employees are skittish. It is a little surprising.
Well, it's a little skittish, and especially like with 401k plans, there's often matches, and a lot of employees are just leaving it on the table because they don't want to participate. And you can get incentives for smoking cessation and participating in this particular wellness program, and they're just not doing it. So 50% of them.
Interesting. Well, Rick, we have a kind of a funny story coming from the WTF department this week from Urban Outfitters. The company, retailer, you've probably been to their stores, is asking some of its retail employees to work for free, basically. According to a story from Business Insider, Urban Outfitters sent an email to retail workers seeking volunteers to help out in its fulfillment centers during the holiday rush season, as those colleagues pick, pack, and ship orders for wholesale and direct customers. So, fair or foul asking employees to work extra for free?
Well, it's fair to ask, but it's pretty foul to put into practice. I mean, really, are people going to go work in the distribution center for free? I mean, I get team building. I just don't know that this is necessarily the way to do it, especially during the holiday season when they have the potential to be working for money in the store with overtime potential, because you know how it is during the holiday season in any store. It's packed. So, yeah.
Yeah, and you mentioned team building kind of, sarcastically. That's actually the way they tried to pitch it in the email to employees. According to Business Insider, the email said, in addition to servicing the needs of our customers, it's a great way to experience our fulfillment operations firsthand. Get your coworkers together for a team building activity. So Rick, you'll be able to come in on Saturday and film a couple more videos for free, right?
Absolutely. I'm here, man.
All right.
You don't see me here on Sunday at 10 p.m. at night.
No, I definitely do not.
Yeah, but I'm here.
Well, that's all we've got for this week's edition of 5 Minutes of Management. For Rick Bell, I'm Frank Kalman. We'll see you guys next week.
Take care.